Ich würde mir jetzt noch ein cooles Video angucken, und zwar vom neuen Porsche 911 ST. Einfach so ein bisschen Seele baumeln lassen. Schönes Video über ein wundervolles Auto der besten Automarke der Welt angucken. Und wer Autos liebt, der guckt sich das gerne mit mir an. First Look 911 ST, Freunde. Oh, ich hab's schon ein bisschen angeguckt, sage ich ehrlich. Es ist auch so wunderschön. Oh. Unnötiges Modell meiner Meinung nach. Nardo dachte ich auch, aber die haben es mir wieder komplett gut verkauft, Digga. Macht's euch gemütlich, Mann.
When it comes to celebrations, most of us have to make do with a Colin the Caterpillar cake, a limp balloon and a card from Auntie Beryl. But for the 60th anniversary of the 911, Porsche decided to give itself a proper present. And oh boy, did the company go hard. Because this is the 911 ST. And I happen to think it might just be the ultimate 911.
Und ich glaub's nach dem Video auch. Find den 992 nicht so geil. Ey, das ist voll Geschmackssache. Ich bin größtenteils auch eher 991.2 Fanboy. Das ist knallt, aber ich finde den 992 schon auch pervers. 997 GT3 geistkrank auch. Völlig geistkrank.
And yes, I mean better than a GT3 RS. But bear with me here. You see, the thing is, even though I absolutely...
Ich habe nur noch nicht verstanden, ob der jetzt den GT3-Motor auch hat. Oder also was der für einen Motor hat. Habe ich nicht ganz gecheckt.
Love gooseneck rear wings, heavy aero and bright colours. As soon as you start turning up to Tesco's supermarket in a GT3 RS, you do look like a little bit of a wannabe. Those very fast Porsches are very visually committed, which is where the 911 ST comes in. Because this is a car that is as much defined by
Digga, wie sauber auch der ist. Oh, dieser... Oh,
what it lacks as by what it has. So let's start with the really obvious things first.
Und ich denke mir den natürlich auch in komplett blacked out. Komplett blacked out. Ich bin ja komplett hängen geblieben auf blacked out. Gibt es auch in Türkis? Safe. Porsche Manufaktur. Macht alles.
No.
Die sehen wie gemalt aus, Digga. Es ist so krank, oder?
Massive wings.
Seht ihr den hier hinten? Den kleinen hier? Er hat nur diesen kleinen Spoiler hier. Oh.
Okay, so it has got a vented bonnet. There is a vent just after the...
Sieht aus wie ein GT3 Touring von der Bonnet, von der Motorhaube.
Front wheel arch, and there's this...
Und das haben, glaube ich, nur die. Oder? Hat der GT3 Touring das auch? Ich weiß nicht. Ich glaube, das hat nur der 911 ST.
Little gurney flap along the back of the electric spoiler, which also doesn't raise up as vertically as on a normal 911. But generally, this is a much more subtle, intense shape than a normal GT3
Digga, wie sieht das aus?
This is more of a GT3 touring vibe. It has no turbos. Stuffed up under the back here is the flat 6 4-litre naturally aspirated motor from the GT3 RS.
Digga, es ist der fucking Motor vom GT3 RS. 6 Liter? Nein. 6 Zylinder. 4 Liter. Sauger vom GT3 RS. In so einem Auto, Digga. Das sieht viel schlichter aus, aber irgendwie auch komplett pervers für die Leute, die sich raus... Oh.
It's also got no paddle box. It's a close ratio.
Ich hoffe, ich habe jetzt hier nichts Falsches gesagt. Ich glaube, ich habe es richtig verstanden.
6-speed manual.
Flat 6, genau. 4 Liter Flat 6. Ja.
Yes.
Handschalter, ja.
It's got no weight. It's got different bumpers front and back, but the bonnet, the wings, the doors, the roof and the boot are all carbon fibre, as is the carbon fibre roll cage, the rear anti-roll bars and the shear panel underneath. When I say it's light, I really do mean it. You see these
Magnesiumfelgen. Und auch, dass der so komplett auf Leichtbau getrimmt ist, aber innen irgendwie trotzdem noch bequem aussieht. Er hat noch das Navi drin, er ist nicht komplett Racecar. Also ich finde einfach, das ist die perfekte Mischung. Und wenn du dann noch verstehst, was drunter steckt, der Scheißmotor vom GT3 RS. Ich mag gerne Lamborghini Gallardo mit Shift-Lackierung. Kenne das nicht was. Ja, okay. Auch geil, auch oldschool. Mach's gut, Weekend Gaming.
Wheels in front of the carbon ceramic brakes, they're made of magnesium. It's even got lightweight carpets. All of that actually makes it...
Also es ist hartes Fangebäude von mir hier. Ich finde hier alles geil.
The lightest 911 in production. At 1,380 kilograms, it's 40 kilos lighter than a GT3 Touring manual. There is no rear-wheel steer system. It's actually been junked to reduce weight and complexity and give it a more analog feel. Cool. It's not even got a proper battery. Instead, the ST gets a very racy, very lightweight and very expensive lithium-ion version. Even the windows are fake. Listen. Okay, so they're not fake, they're just extremely thin and very...
mich gar nicht so gut aus mit Autos, nur Genießer fahren Fahrrad und sind immer schneller da. Ey, safe, respektiere ich auch.
Lightweight, so I better not do that too hard. And inside,
guck mal, der sieht so geil aus von innen auch. Also, so sieht natürlich jeder 911er aktuell aus. Aber irgendwie, er ist komplett Leichtbau mit Carbon und auch diesem Überrollbügel und hat ja auch nicht die Türgriffe, sondern die Türbänder. Aber irgendwie hat er wenigstens so trotzdem Navi und ist nicht so komplett geisteskrank ausge. Dann mit diesem Handschalter. Oh.
It's just as
Der Typ, genau. Der Porsche ist auch ganz cool. Aber der Typ sieht so geil aus, Digga.
interesting. So you do tend to notice quite a lot of carbon. There's carbon here, carbon there, carbon, carbon, massive carbon roll cage. The thing is, this car feels quite pared back. It's got green dials
Alter, ich würde da so gern drin sitzen.
as a nod to
Ja, man, nicht übertrieben, aber perfekt. Alter, ohne Witz. Dann hat der grüne hier, ne?
the racing cars from back in the late 60s, early 70s. And then all the major controls, and by major I mean things like exhaust, dampers, ESC off, and the traction control off, are really, really easy to find. So this is a car that's very focused on what the driver wants to do. The ergonomics as well are absolutely perfect. These seats are carbon buckets and they're standard, but though you can get fat person seats as a no-cost option, but the way you sit in them, your connection to the car is absolutely spot on. And then your relationship to the pedals is direct and brilliant. The wheel is the right size and it's just in the right place. But there's a couple of very special things. First of all is this gear shift here. It's a short shift 6-speed manual, which is hard to say when you've had 3 glasses of wine. But watch this, if I dip the clutch, put it in first, that's second, that's third.
Ach, das seht ihr ja gar nicht, ich dummes Arschi. Sorry, ey. Muss die Facecam hier hochpacken. Mein dummer Stuhl quietscht.
That's fourth and on. It is really short and it just sounds...
Ist es eigentlich laut genug? Wie leicht ist die Karre nochmal? Irgendwas mit 1370 Kilogramm, glaube ich. Völlig geil.
Sounds like the action from a bolt action rifle. It's really fast. And also a couple of things that relate back to the lightweighting thing. So the clutch
Alte Porsche ist auch krank safe.
is actually 11 kilos lighter than a normal 911 clutch, which you wouldn't think is a big deal, but it makes it quite snappy. So the clutch is actually harder to modulate than a normal clutch. And the flywheel has been lightened.
Jetzt noch wichtig, was der Ehrenbruder dazu zu sagen hat. Heritage, so, jetzt kommt der Ehrenbruder hier rein. Und der ist auch bester Mann, ehrlich.
But there's one person who knows a bit about these things. His name is Andreas Preuninger, who also happens to be lightly iconic himself, and the current director of Porsche's GT line.
Can you give me one line of why this car is cool? What's the one line, the tagline for the ST?
The ST is our 60th anniversary birthday present we make for ourselves to celebrate the 911. It has all the virtues a 911 has to have, we think, which is lightweight construction, agility, involvement, and just the seat of the pants feeling, the driving for the sake of driving, the use of the car instead of a motorcycle on a Sunday morning. All
Geredet wie ein Löwe bisher.
this is in that car, and I think it was in all 911s, but we wanted to take it to the max with this car on the 60th birthday of the 911.
But isn't this just touring with a manual?
Yeah, it looks like one. Yeah, it looks like one, and that's definitely what we wanted to achieve, but it is not. There's so much more to this car. I mean, if you look historically at the 911 ST, because it's a 911...
Das ist eine saugute Frage, Dragster. Das gucken wir jetzt gleich mal nach. Was kostet uns denn der Lachs? Porsche. Das recherchiere ich mal. Der wird ja jetzt schon, wenn er released wurde, entdecke den 911 ST. Ich glaube fast, dass sie da keinen Preis wirft. Doch, ab 292.000 Euro. Digga, ist das geisteskrank. Und an den wirst du ja auch niemals rankommen, selbst wenn du das Geld hast. Die haben nämlich 1963 Stück davon wird es geben, weil 60 Jahre Geburtstag 911 1963. Digga, holy shit.
ST as well.
Schnapper. Mieser Schnapper, Digga. Ein bisschen Donation, komm. Gönnt mal ein bisschen hier, los.
Cars brought to the Porsche Motorsport factory back in the 70s.
Also wenn du die Kohle hast und du holst das Ding, ist das Ding wahrscheinlich nächstes Jahr eine halbe Mio wert. Perfekt.
That means it was the fastest, or the Carreras or the 911, so the biggest motor by then. And then we threw some T parts. The 911T was existing as well. It was very lightweight. It was a little bit simpler, simplified, but had lighter parts. So we mixed these two cars, and in addition, we threw some motorsport race parts on the car, and there was the 911 ST, built for racing, built for privateers, built for our works driving equipe that ran the car in 1970 in Le Mans. And there's quite a similarity here, because what better car could you use as the base platform as a GT3 Touring?
Yes.
So take the GT3 Touring, which is developed and born in Porsche Motorsport anyways, throw RS parts at it, add some bespoke lightweight parts that fit this purity, lightweight and involvement chapter. And
Ey, der Mann, ich könnte den ganzen Tag zuhören, Mann. Er redet nur geilen Scheiß.
Idea, and this is the example, and this is the result.
So this feels like lots and lots of little tweaks. Like there's lots of elements to this. This isn't just like a bigger horsepower motor or big wide tires. This is lots of tweaking of the recipe. So how do you make sure that everything comes together?
Da steht's 0 von 1963. Das heißt, es sind nur die Prototypen, oder? Verstehe ich das richtig? Das heißt, es gibt noch ein paar Prototypen, wie zum Beispiel die. Es werden 1963 davon ausgeliefert. Das ist schon auch geistkrank wenig, oder? Voll schade.
Well, this is the biggest task, yeah? To make 11,000 parts on the car feel like exactly one part. If you ask me what's your favorite part on the car, I say the car itself. Because all the components we changed, all the tweaking we did, all the development that went into the car has to be, every component has to be in perfect synchronization with its partner that makes this performance, that gives the driver this feeling, this involvement. So you have to fine-tune everything. First thing for sure is lightweight, because when you take a car off the parking lot, I think you should feel that it's a light and nimble car that's very responsive. I didn't want to have a car that was fun all just when you're driving like 100 miles an hour. It should be fun from the get-go.
Das Auto sieht so unreal aus, ohne Witz.
And therefore it needs to be light and very responsive and communicative. So we have to address steering feel. We have to address sound. What does the engine do? And you have to address the immediacy of the car, how it reacts to the throttle, how we tweak the dampers to feel exactly what the car is going to be doing in the next split second, because only then you have a lot of control in the car when you can talk with the car, when the communication is 100%. So as a driver, you should be an integral part of the machinery.
Und ihr müsst wissen, der ist jetzt erst, wann ist der rausgekommen? Wann haben die den released? Montag, Dienstag? So geil. Es ist komplett new, der Shit hier gerade. Naja, gibt auch Autos, die sind noch limitiert. Ja, safe, natürlich. Natürlich. Safe, klar. Klar, das ist ja keine Frage. Für so einen Porsche finde ich es halt krass.
And just feel like a component of the car. And that's exactly what this car does. And yeah, and there's lots of things that we did on the car to achieve this. And I think we're going to dig deep into that right now, I think.
Who's the customer? Who is the person that looks at the ST and says, that
Liebe Leute. Servus Niklas, grüß dich.
is my perfect 911?
My fear is we have a lot more customers than we can supply a car for, because we're going to produce 1963 because it's the birthday of the 911 units of this one, and it addresses all the people that like the virtues a 911 stands for, that like the 911, that want to be involved in the driving, that use the car mainly to go driving. Not.
Ich muss kurz meine Facecam rüberschieben. Denn der Mann ist ja deutlich wichtiger als der Mann von Top Gun. Was?
Not necessarily on a racetrack.
Und das ist so deep, was er sagt.
To go driving. Not necessarily on a racetrack. So we didn't concentrate too much on racetrack capability on that car. This is a car for the street. This is a car for the road. And it's set up to have fun in a street legal situation.
Ich tue ja so, als hätte ich voll den Plan. Ich fahre immer noch mit dem Punto von meiner Mama um. Aber eines Tages. Der 911 ST, Jungs.
And it combines all this good 911 old school vibe of driving. You have to concentrate on the driving, you have to listen to the car, you have to grow into the car. I don't want to say it's hard to drive, but you have to concentrate doing.
Hammer. Ja, das ist ja auch erst diese Woche rausgekommen. Und dieser ganz alte ST, der ist halt auch wirklich 40 Jahre alt oder so.
So, yeah, and I think this is the thing that stands out and that what people want. They want to be involved in the driving.
Spendenlink in der Beschreibung, sagst du? Yeah, Ausrufezeichen. Doni in den Chat, Digga. Okay, geht nicht. Ausrufezeichen Dono in den Chat, Digga. Ja. Auch mal 297.000 da lassen.
They don't want to be bored by driving a car because there's so many.
So, Freunde, wir haben jetzt hier wirklich 11 Minuten wichtigsten Content. Will it still win our hearts? Wir gucken.
Also there,
wir ziehen es jetzt durch.
That are maybe not as entertaining to drive as they should be.
In the age of electric, and making it very, very easy to make a very, very fast car, do you think cars like this are more important to people who love driving?
Oh, this is a political question. I'm happy to talk about the car. I only have my personal opinion. I think electrification is necessary. We do it at Porsche quite well. So if you want an electric car, hey, go out, buy a Taycan. It's really cool. And as much sportiness as you can have in a car. But if you just want the driving...
Auch so eine gute Antwort bisher. Ich habe das Video schon gesehen, ich bin ehrlich. Er macht so clever, er spricht so gut. Irgendwie. So, solche Reaktionen bitte öfter. Ey, ich habe auch Bock, so jeden zweiten Stream ganz am Ende. Wenn die paar Leute, die sich auch noch für Autos interessieren, weil ich interessiere mich schon für Autos, so entspannt noch so ein Video angucken, ein bisschen drüber schnacken, hätte ich richtig Bock drauf, das regelmäßig zu machen. So gut, ich feiere einfach, was er sagt. Also, yay, wenn du Elektro willst, dann hol dir einen Taycan, Digga. Wir haben auch den geilsten Elektrowagen, den du willst. Aber irgendwie ist das halt auch, das ist es halt auch irgendwie. Kauf dir halt das, Digga.
Involvement, the old school noises, the interaction with the machine, like a clutch, like a gear shift, and being able to coordinate all that, having the satisfaction of being able to do so. This is something only a car like this at the moment can offer, and we're quite happy that we can still put a car like this on the market. So there is this possibility, and fortunately, I'm on that side of the parliament, and I'm allowed to concentrate on cars like this. And that's what I've been doing for 20 years, and I think my whole team, we know a little bit about that kind of cars. And but this might be the pinnacle of what we did so far when it comes to driving involvement and this feeling that you don't want to get out of the car anymore once you're in it. I mean, it's not A to B. If you need to go...
So, ich meine, sowas schaue ich mir auch bei meinen. Ja, deswegen dachte ich mir so, hey, so ein bisschen, ich glotze auch noch viel mehr davon an, aber ein bisschen sowas teilen. Ich glaube, so in der GTA-Community gibt es auch genügend Leute, die sich für Autos interessieren. Das ist ja auch so ein Bestandteil bei GTA, deswegen... Ja, safe haben sie ja auch gesagt, die werden so lange wie es geht noch Combustion Engines machen. Ist auch gut so, Digga. 911er braucht es einfach, finde ich. Schlaf gut, Schluppe. Bin eh kompletter Verbrenner-Fanboy, aber das ist ja nochmal ein ganz anderes Thema. Seit wann ein Job? Gambroto? Seit 2-3 Monaten tatsächlich mittlerweile. Schlafen wird überwertet. Junge, ja.
Go to A to B, you're going in circles, in big circles, in a spiral all around because you don't want to get out. And this is a car for me, and it's really like that. It's a car when I had a good drive, I get out and I'm tempted to pet it on the roof because it did so well. And when I'm walking away from the car, I want to turn around to admire it again. And this is all part of the recipe of this car. Yeah.
It's like my favorite.
Alter, er ist so stolz auf die Schöpfung von ihm und seinem Team.
Favorite 911 ever is the 911R.
Was haben die gesagt?
Favorite 911.
Part of the recipe of this car. Yeah.
It's like my favorite 911 ever is the 911R, which is quite a similar kind of idea. Is this the successor to the 911R, or do you think it's a different character?
It is in the same corner, I would say. Yeah? It's lightweight, it's purism, it's involvement. So this is the R on steroids, I would say. Right. And to be honest, we didn't want to make a new R because once you bring out a new R, there's an old R. And the R is one of my favorites as well, and I don't want any old R's out there.
Ja.
It's a 911R and it's a 991, that's fine. But this is a 911 ST, which is similar because the recipe behind it, the strategy.
Ich muss sagen, der 911, ich kann nicht reden. Der 991R, das war ja sogar vor Facelift, also 991.1. 911R. Der war cool, aber irgendwie hat mich nie so krass gecatcht. Mich hat er erst gecatcht, als ich gecheckt habe, dass die Leute, die den haben, irgendwie, der Wert hat sich irgendwie verdoppelt, weil er so limitiert ist. Völlig verrückt. So wird es hier auch laufen, sind wir ehrlich.
To strip it from everything you don't need and to concentrate on the drive.
Aber den finde ich einfach geil, wie er da steht. Ich bin natürlich Fan von schwarzen Felgen. Komplett blacked out, das Ding so schlicht und trotzdem so geisteskrank und
Having and to be lightweight and to be a motorsport car derived from a GT car is about the same league. Yeah, that's right. But we like the ST moniker as well as we like the R.
Do you believe that this is the ultimate 911? Because I think it might be.
I don't believe that it's the ultimate 911. I know it is the ultimate 911. For me, it is.
So there you have it from the man who should know. The thing is, the ST feels like a car that's been made more subtle but more interactive. It's more about chasing a good time on a good road than lap times on a track. Will this be the ultimate 911? Well, we're going to have to drive it to find that out. But if it's anything like my favourite 911 ever, the R, it's going to be delicious.
Dann müssen wir uns nur noch angucken, wenn sie das Ding mal wirklich auch auf der Straße testen.
Was it real or just pretend?